And we're back. Oh, I need to sign on. Like I feel like I want to say, "Bam, we're live," but I can't. You know, and I feel like I would have said that even if Savon hadn't said it, but he took it. So thus, I need to sign on. Chat, I need you to help me find a sign on. All right, it is Monday, September 9th. I can't believe it's September already. Actually, I was gonna say feels like New Year's was not yesterday, but it doesn't feel like that. I don't feel like I remember New Year's at all, to be honest. What did I do for New Year's? No idea. Um, it does feel like Christmas was very recent. Bennett was running around with his head cut off. But for the most part, I don't really remember anything of that far ago, that long ago. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How do I sound? Good morning. Hello, Jenna. What's up? What's up, Kenneth? I hope they got that fixed. I don't even know what you're talking about. I'll take my flowers on B-Rob. I gotta look. How many points did he score? Let's see. League. He's talking about fantasy football, by the way. For those that don't know, I guess I'll probably just look on my phone. That'll probably be easiest. That's not a lot of points. Good morning, Aaron. Good morning, Camille. See, this is like how one of these mornings are going. I don't even know what you're talking. Yeah, I don't even know. What are we talking about? Did I say that? Um. Anyways. Um. So the week is upon us, and the weekend is gone. It was a good weekend. It was. Yeah. I mean, he did. I don't know. He got like 6 points. How did Eckler do? We're talking about fantasy, by the way. Have a good day. Love you. I don't even know. He got 8 points, probably on like 7 catches. Let's see how many receiving. How many? 4 targets. Oh, yeah. Yes, he does that. He still does that. It's even worse. Um, all right. We're back on track now. I was very confused for a minute. That's really loud. So, week 1 of fantasy football, absolute terror per usual. I thought my team was going to be amazing, and I think I have 75 points. Makes me sad. That's okay. They'll bounce back. First week is hard to always figure out. Anyways, how was everyone's weekend? Did anyone do anything fun? So I got this desk light. It's MHJ. So I got this desk light. Who's MHJ? I don't even know who that is. um, I don't know who that is. I got this desk light, and it's supposed to have like different mediums, and the medium's broke, and so it's just like bright white. But I like a warmer tone. Oh, um, Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't know. I mean, he was like the first pick in the draft, wasn't he? It's gonna be tough to cut him. I don't think he's terrible. I mean, he's like one of the most successful receivers ever in college football. But that always comes with what team is he on? I mean, he's on Arizona, so tough to I mean, he only got 3 targets, so tough to say that you should cut him. Anyways, so I got this light and it broke. It only stays on like bright white now, and I emailed them and they won't email me back, and I'm fucking annoyed because I've only had it for a month and like it doesn't work. Anywho, so what are we going to talk about today? Oh, I do want to watch NorCal, the final that Hiller posted, because I was looking for it and John sent it to me this morning. And we are applying for rogue media credentials, hopefully for 2 things. We didn't have any assets in Scotland, but we found some, and hopefully to be able to stream on the podcast with John and Travis. So we'll see. Yeah. So this is actually a fantasy football morning show now at this point. My team was trash. It was very frustrating. Scotland, the Birmingham of UK. Is that true? I don't know. I don't know anything about Europe. Sounds like it though. All right. We want to watch this. You want to watch this Hiller video? Well, I had the Browns defense. So just to be clear, I don't know if it's the Browns. It's Deshaun Watson. That was the biggest joke ever. I can't believe they paid him that much money. But he's terrible. He's terrible. Just like Tiger, when you take away his outlet, we'll talk about it PC like, he turns into shit. Well, that's just how that works, right? So he had whatever he was doing, probably made him really good, and you took all that away, and now he ain't that good. So it just is what it is. All right. All right. We want to share. I think we can get there. I was watching it this morning. All right. Let's talk about some CrossFit, hey? You think Hiller will like demonetize me? If you want to watch the video, go ahead and head over to his. I'm going to mute it. I don't want to listen to Hiller talk for 12 minutes. All right.
Judges almost ready. All right, our judges are ready. 10 seconds.
I wish you would have just left them go.
3, 2, 1, go.
So
I know you were probably excited to listen to the end.
all right. Anyways. Okay, so the workout is Calzoo, okay, which is 100 thrusters at 135 for time, 5 burpees every minute. But they changed it, and it's basically for 3 minutes, it's 3 muscle ups on the minute. And then for 3 minutes, it's 2 muscle ups. And then for 3 minutes, it's 1 muscle up. And so Taylor was in the lead going into this workout. And so, yeah, NorCal Sioux is what it was called. And so here's the workout. Pause it for a second. I think he talks about it long enough. So 10-minute time cap, which is wild also, by the way. Just 100 thrusters on a 10-minute time cap would be insane. Just remember how fit these guys are. 3 ring muscle ups for 3 minutes, 2 ring muscle ups for 3 minutes, and 1 ring muscle up for 4 minutes. All right, so It looks like they pretty much come out starting to do 5s and 6s. And so it's a good one. The guy who got second was on Hiller's thing early. Taylor was in the lead going into this workout technically, because they didn't score that bucket hold workout, and so everyone got first for 50 points, I think. And so I think that might have made a difference with like leading into that workout. And so yeah, I didn't see the leaderboard till basically it was done, and I was just doing some math, and he was in the lead because he lost by 30 points, and he got 13th, so he lost 39 points to it. So he was technically in the lead by just a little bit going into that workout. So they did throw that workout out because of judging standards. So, but I mean, even so, like, even if they didn't, I mean, Taylor's not anatomically designed to do that. He's got really long arms, and he's tall. So just physics and levers and things will pretty much limit how well he's going to do in that workout in general. But yeah, I didn't watch any of the weekend. We're just kind of recapping from afar, and I just wanted to see this workout. So I think we're 4 minutes in at this point. This is 2. Yep. So this is starting round 4. Yep. And it was a standard of like wrist and shoulder position and all these things. And so basically you couldn't extend your wrist, you couldn't turn your elbows up. And so there was just a lot of that. And then it just was really, really unclear. So that's all I know. Yeah. I mean, they gave away like $100,000 in prizes. So, I mean, I feel like they could have just like, hey, let's not give away 20 grand of it, and we can get a really good stream of it. But I don't know. I don't know much about the event, so I just want to watch this. What do you think Taylor's getting? It's 125 grand. Sheesh. That's a lot. It's crazy that they're even pulling in that much in registration fees, to be honest. It'll keep growing. You keep giving out money like that. Yeah, I think there's enough people. Like, you could have been like, hey, Savon, do you want to like put this on your platform? Like the whole thing. You know what I mean? Right? Like, there's enough people in the space, third party now, that as long as you're okay sharing the wealth, I think it would be really good. I guess Ben and Blair, these are the people who put it on. So yeah, the qualifier is huge, right? They qualify for like everything in the qualifiers, 25 or $30 or whatever it was, $50. Yeah, I agree, Kenneth. I would have watched if there was a stream. But it seems like they have the opportunity to. I think next year we'll see a stream for sure. But yeah, so I think we're 6 minutes in or starting our 6th round. And Colton is got a Mara pretty savage lead at this point. And he's gonna peel back to this Ilya kid here in a minute, who ends up getting I think you have a lover and an admirer, CrossFat. I don't think CrossFat is fat though. This guy in the hat over here to the left, they get back to him. He ends up getting second. I didn't know Ben Alderman ran ran the event. So this Ilya kid, this guy walking up right there, if they go back to him, just watch him do these thrusters. He's just cruising through them. That's interesting. I don't know. I mean, so I think if his knees don't bend, right, it's probably not. Right? I mean, that would be basically, so then that would be a no rep too, right? So, they don't rebend, right? So, if your feet slide at all, I know what you're saying, right? From the open, I don't think that's a really good, yeah, I always thought that was dumb. If the knees don't rebend, it doesn't rebend, right? Yeah, he clean and jerked 206, which is wild. Everyone, that's like 454 pounds or something like that. I don't know. I don't wear a belt. I tell all my athletes to never wear belts. So, I don't know. I think belts are dumb. Except in like, maybe in competition, but not for I don't think for a thruster workout, to be honest. That's this light. But Colton's just cruising through. I assume they're getting into the last round here. What's the time on the clock? 8 minutes. So I think they're in round 9. Yeah. So the belt just gives me confidence sometimes. I think the belt can also be this kind of like this crutch, right? And kind of create this need. Sweeney pushing really good. Ah, come on. Go to this Ilya kid. He's cruising. He's cruising through. Look at how easy that looks. Those might be no reps, but still, like he's just flying. It looks like he just got a no rep. Is it the end of the workout? No. I think they're going to the minute though. Going back. Yeah, Tudor's knees are pretty wide. When we finish the rest of this, we'll get to that point. So I think Colton, I assume, goes unbroken here on these 8. Oh no. So this is a tough one. If we look at the scores, right? Whoops. Rank. Colton's the only one that finished. The Ilya kid got 92. What was that? I was looking at Tudor's depth. It looks pretty good. His knees are just he's got a super, super wide squat. But I think overall, I think it's probably fine. Some of them are probably kind of close. Tough one. All right. We'll just stare at Taylor's face for a minute. Let's see. Asking about Tudor's depth. Oh, nope, missed it. Let's see. Yeah, his legs are almost touching. So yeah, I don't know. I think they're there. It's probably like a first rep thing. I think it looks pretty good for most of them. Um, I think there's just so much fitness in this. We'll work our way down. But anyways, I think it looks good. Belt just gives me confidence. Like I said, I think it gives a crutch. Do we care about athletes? I just think this is such a like, it's so hard to say that you have to care, right? Because this is literally every sport ever, right? Um, so I think it. I mean, it's the same as people claiming that Ricky wasn't tested during his ban, or like I don't know. I mean, we probably should care, but I don't think it's something that we can even reasonably consider and think about, because there's no way. I mean, he was in competitions where they test, right? Regardless of whatever, how quality it is, or state funded testing or anything like that, or state funded drug use. It doesn't matter, right? Like the point is he was there, he was an athlete, he competed at a really high level. He's a, national champion, world contender. So he was tested, right? Whether or not how effective it was, or if it was country supported, etc. Right? So Audrey, people say belts aren't cheating, but so I definitely don't think belts are cheating by any means, right? I don't like to use them for my athletes. One, because it takes time, right? And so a lot of people end up relying on the belt, and it slows them down, and then they take too much time to kind of work through what they're dealing with, or what they're working, like what the workout is, and that's not good, right? When they start playing with it, they pick it up, etc. And so I only like to let athletes use it in, like, you know, competition where I know their back is going to blow up and it's going to give them a true competitive advantage, or max lifts. But other than that, my athletes don't wear belts. Is it considered bad programming if only two people finish the workout? No, I think those workouts are really good sometimes, especially at local competitions. Um, because what happens is if you worry about everyone finishing, then your top finishers, so say it's a 15-minute time cap, right? And you want everyone to finish, or you want 50% of the field to finish. Well, in these competitions, the top 5% of the field is still going to be so much more fit that they might finish in 10 minutes or 11 minutes, right? So I think it's good sometimes to actually make the top athletes work the full length of the test, right? And let everyone hit the time cap. So we're going through this, right? In Coda Iron Games is, or like when you look at like the Masters CrossFit Games, right? So I think they worried maybe a little too much about everyone having a good test, and they might have missed some of the top, right? I would have liked to see them write some workouts where only a few people finished, like especially that first deadlift one, adding another run, making it longer, etc., so that everyone's getting the totality of a 20+ minute test, even if that means some people aren't finishing, right? Or if a lot of people aren't finishing. Yeah, I was reading that there was a lot of heat issues there. I felt like maybe someone in the comments of this said that too. Um, yeah, I think they did a um, what was I gonna say? Um, I think Taylor did a, like it's a lot of squat volume, but I think there's also such a fitness component here, right? In a grind, like a mental grind, right? And it seems that, like, I don't know Taylor from a fly on the wall, but it seems that if there's a mentality component within the workout, Taylor's Taylor's just going to be better regardless if the modality at being tested is even like maybe his worst, right? High volume squatting. Chris knows 6:30 Mondays and Fridays. We're just gonna keep rolling with it. Um, uh, what do you mean? Do we think that Carrie Pierce wasn't natural prior? Is that where you're getting with that CrossFat? Good night. IW. Yeah. I mean, that's why. Isn't it gone? Isn't there like not an IWF anymore? He wasn't tested. He's committed to, or he's talked about not being tested during that time. Time cap in this workout is okay, but there weren't Wasn't a major shared failure number. No score, choke point. Audrey, you don't advise unless it's at a competition for. Yeah, so like if it does give you that little bit of help, right? So for the belt, this is the belt question. Again, it's not cheating. People use belts to lift all the time. But if it's a high volume deadlift workout and the belt's going to give you 1 rep, a little bit more, we do know belts create increased intra-abdominal pressure and um, uh, and can help you increase, bracing, which increases force output, which can help you lift more weight. There's a period she competed in real bodybuilding. Yeah, but that was, I guess so. No, I don't think anything's cheating. All right. So, yeah, let's see. What is she? Let's see. Yeah, so I just put her. I'm gonna pull it up. I mean, I don't know. I probably wouldn't call this look to be um to be like bodybuilding. So she's in bikini in figure. This might be figure. She's probably a little muscular for a bikini. I'm not sure what division. Oh, physique. Yeah. So she's in physique. And she's not that lean for physique. Some of those girls get super peeled. So I would say probably not. This doesn't look, I mean, I think she was probably more lean in her peak CrossFit world. So IWF exists. Keep having athletes banned later on. Yeah. On the post testing thing. Are knee sleeves cheating? No. So when I look at any type of like sleeves or belts or wrist wraps, I think I look at it like this, right? So if you need it to reach your baseline training, then it's a crutch, and at that point a negative, right? So like if you have to have your knee sleeves, you have to have your wrist wraps, you have to have your belt just to train normal, right? Not max out, not compete, just to like do your daily training, then I think at that point, then it's just a crutch, right? And it's doing you a disservice. And I think of that with anything. Same with like massage, like body work, mobility, etc. Like if you need to do all of those things just to be a baseline, like just to do your daily training, then you need to look into your training a little bit more and think of making other adjustments, right? Because those things should take you above and beyond or help you perform to the next level, right? And not just help you reach baseline, right? Baseline you shouldn't rely on anything just to be at your normal training, whatever, right? Ability. So that's how I look at sleeves or belts or anything like that. And so I say that because I was that guy, right? I had wrist wraps tight to the point that my wrist didn't move. And sleeves all session, no matter what, lifters, belts, all the things. And then eventually, like 30 minutes, 45 minutes of like mobility prep, mobility WOD, like flossing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then I just decided to like just a cold turkey, cut it all out. And all of my little aches and pains that I was doing all of that for just went away. And I did this, a few years into CrossFit, 2000 and I don't know, 15 maybe. And I stopped all my mobility work then, and my mobility got better. My positions got better. And Um, and then eventually I took all of my like sleeves and like I still wear, the only thing I wear is um, like sweatbands, um, just because it's Florida and I sweat a ton. But that's it. I don't wear anything else. And I obviously wear tape. Oh, and I got my little injury. Um, and so I wear tape on my thumbs. Looking forward. Oh yeah, Maggie booked a call Wednesday. Um, so if you guys are looking for some one-on-one coaching, hit me up. It's right there, down there below, one-on-one. Good. Maybe it'll just be like a instead of Savan show one day. No, I'm just kidding. That's not my goal. My goal is to convince all of you to come join WODprep programming. That's my goal. One day that'll work. Whoops. Yeah, that's fine. We can go here. What do you think? Fatigue first, legs, hip flexors, arms, shoulders. There's definitely some press fatigue that's happening in this workout. Probably more than anything. I mean, the legs are blowing up for sure, but I know for me, it's like the press fatigue of the thruster. Probably more than anything. 100 thrusters is a lot, plus a muscle up. It was only, what is that, 9, 15. So it's 19 muscle ups, which isn't a ton. And so it is, but I think that's probably press fatigue. Hip flexors probably not, right? I think the hip flexors obviously work, but it's more of stability, right? You're not like, it's not like a toes to bar. So yeah, I don't know. Knee sleeves are my crutch. Agreed. They were for me for a long time. Let's go into my first week doing a clean and jerk in almost 2.5 months. So everybody, what do we do when we haven't done something in a while? We stay light. We don't do anything crazy. And I would say don't go over like 65%. What'd you do? Why haven't you worked? Why haven't you done a clean and jerk in 2 months? 2.5 months. That's a long time. Please God, don't go heavy. It's a terrible idea. You should probably like maybe jerk from the front rack, maybe like just clean and then just jerk. What do I know? Camille, if you're talking about me, it's actually pretty gruesome. I was doing dumbbell front rack walking lunges and I went to take the dumbbells down and they were crossed behind my head and I went to take them off. And I pinched my finger and I smashed my finger and I shredded the nail off, and split my finger in half. It's pretty gruesome. If you guys are interested, I won't put it on here because I'll probably for sure get demonetized. But if you want to see it, I'll send you a picture. Shoot me a message on Instagram. It was pretty gross. I almost finished the workout though, but sad day. Colton's doing the workouts today. I feel like we talked about this somewhere and we were wondering if he would. That's fucking insane. They're pretty gnarly too. I mean, they're no joke. That devil's press workout, like he did this yesterday. He did this thruster workout yesterday. Is insane. And then he's going to do that devil press workout today. Just doing that today after the weekend would be wild. He's going to do all 4. I think it's probably going to be pretty tough for him to qualify. We're going to talk about Rogue later in the week with John and Travis. We'll talk about the results, but let's we can look now and see. What are we doing? Nope. The queue. View leaderboard. I'm assuming no one's put in their results. So yeah, none of the results are in. I mean, I guess some are in. Yeah, no one's putting results in. It's not even worth looking. Ryan Ellis. I feel like he's out of Florida. I haven't heard that name in a long time. Colton's secret is pig milk. Probably. Cow milk, maybe? Pig milk? God, wouldn't that be gross? Ugh. That was clever. That's definitely, I think that deserves a timeout. Augustus Colton's got that hog in him. That's like timeout worthy for sure. That was terrible. Well, welcome to CrossFit, Jenna. Hopefully this isn't too boring. All right, so we're going to take a minute to thank our sponsor, Third Z. So for those of you that know, I'm a father of a young one. He sleeps really well, but I like to play with him during the day, which means, and I take him to school in the morning and he gets home at 3. So that means my work day runs from about 9 to 3. All right. So it's hard to get a lot of work in during that time. So it's usually where my meetings are. I do the podcast. There's, sometimes a podcast in the afternoon, which means that I usually work once he goes to bed at 7. I'm up at 5 every day to get some work done too. So I only have usually about a 7-hour window to try and get as much sleep as I can. And Third Z is the way that I do it, right? And so I've always been a good sleeper, but this makes sure that I'm optimizing every minute. So I take it every night to make sure that I can get the most out of my 6 to 7 hours that I'm in bed. There's no melatonin, which I love. I'm not a melatonin fan. I don't need help falling asleep. I want to make sure that when I am asleep, it's as effective as possible. And that's where Third Z gets it. So if you guys are looking to optimize that sleep, follow the link, WODprep 15. And it is a good way for you to improve the amount of sleep that you get. Always getting more sleep is better, but if you are struggling with total time, this is going to help improve how you fall asleep, how long you stay asleep, how well you get into deep and REM sleep, etc. So click that link. We'd really appreciate it. I think you guys will appreciate it too. I've been taking Third Z for a long time. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah, but clever doesn't also mean that it's not cheesy. Just to let you know. Cool. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, has everyone got coffee? What's everyone drinking today? Hey, Audrey. So we have a lot of schedules. So this morning show is Monday and Friday at 6:30, pretty much all the time, 6:30 Central. And then we do a news show with John and Travis throughout the week, depending on what comes out. So just a CrossFit news update. And then this week, I have an interview with Maddie Rogers on Wednesday. Maddie's a good friend of mine, and she's local in Pensacola. So she's had a pretty tumultuous year. And so we're going to talk about it in the future and qualifying for Worlds, etc. So that's Wednesday at 1. It's all on the channel, right? So if you go to the live shows that are planned. And then we're also starting a new segment of the podcast, Journey Through the Journal, with 2 of my coaches, Orlando and Nelson. So what we'll be doing is basically like a book club for the CrossFit Journal, taking a journal article, breaking apart, talking about the effects of what it had, kind of leading us to where we are, how it is effective now, etc. So, but this show specifically, this Coffee and Conversations, is 6:30 Mondays and Fridays. So, that was a nice pop. And y'all should be turning on your notification for every show. Come on, help a guy out. If not, sweet tea, that's not real. You must live in the South. Sweet tea. Um, so yeah, so I'm obviously I love interviewing people. Uh, and it'll be fun to talk with Maddie. She doesn't do a lot of interviews. But I think I mean, in my opinion, I think she's the cornerstone of the meteoric rise of USA weightlifting, right? Even if she's not, at the top from a performance perspective, it wouldn't be where it is without her. So, um, I'm excited to have her on and just kind of dig into what her year has been like and what her career looks like and what it looks like going forward. Uh, um, if you, Audrey, if you head over to the channel and hit that bell, right? So right below, subscribe. Cool. Right. Turn notifications on. Um, and yeah. So this one will always be on Monday, Friday, 6:30. And then Journey Through the Journal. What we're going to do is I'll put the journal link in the chat if you guys want to join. I think this week it's gonna be on Fridays, probably every other week. Let me see. Let me go to I don't even know when I booked it. I think it's Friday at 1. So WODprep. I guess I could have just went to yeah, Friday at 1, right? Foundations, which is, if you guys don't know, it's the first article. Okay. Obviously, I think that's a good place to start. So we're really excited about it. I think it'll be fun. And here we go. So I'll put this in the stream. Cool. Okay, it's free. We'd love for you guys to read it and come join. On Friday, that'll be fun. A little education, talk about, what we actually do here, not just shoot the shit on the internet. So, no, WODprep Warriors isn't done. We've just, the games kind of threw everything off. And then the Masters games and then travel. And so it's just, we'll get back down to it. And now I'm injured. Travis has been injured. And then John got a coach that no one knows about, which is probably JR. So yeah. So no, it's not done. Just, yeah, well, that's what we do. The worst part about having notifications on for this show is you get one for teaching you about CrossFit movements. Well, maybe you fucking need to learn more about CrossFit movements, Gus. All right. Just give it a like and then move on. Okay. That's all we need. I just need your like. That's all I need to use you for. Okay. Is that a journal article or is that in this? Probably in this. I haven't read the article yet. No, I did get your sarcasm. Turn it on anyways. Everyone should have our notifications on. We put out the best shit on the internet, all right? Completely. No one puts out informational stuff like WODprep. It's not even a question. My masters would smoke John's masters. Mine actually competed at the CrossFit Games. All right. His muscle mommy's got nothing on my athletes. Both of my games athletes haven't worked out yet. One did an Everest climb. There's like this kind of like ascent experience that they pick a mountain basically, and it's just like really nice experience. And you go up, and they take the gondola down, but you do it as you would climb Everest in like 36 hours. And so one just did that, and then the other one is now, I don't know, 8 days into not working out. It's the longest she hasn't worked out in like, I don't know. I think she said like 7 years. I was like, it's probably a good thing. So, Um, let's see. What else? Miami won. Both Miami. Canes played FAMU, which was kind of a joke, but Cam Ward looks great. Another 3 touchdown. Well, he had 4 touchdowns, 300 plus yard day. We have a really, really easy schedule, and it looks like the Miami's the favorite to win the ACC, which I'm super stoked about. But the ACC looks super bad, so I don't know how much that's saying. But we'll see. It's a long, long year. Dolphins looked okay, not great. Does anyone here watch football? If not, too bad. I love football. And it was good to see. Bruh, stop this. Stop it. What's the Vol schedule? I feel like they're gonna lose next week. They play Oklahoma next in 2 weeks, and then they play Alabama in a month. We'll see. I don't know. I don't think they're winning the national championship. Let's see. Legends qualifiers come out today. Yeah, so it is a quick turnaround, but it's a completely different event, right? So like I think they have like a totally different like avenue for this, right? This part CrossFit has nothing to do with. I don't even know if this is a CrossFit sanctioned event. And this is the Legends, I think the Legends Championship qualifier does come out today. I mean, there's not a ton of people signed up. One of my athletes is doing it though, and I'm assuming they're inviting people, but it is. We'll see. So, yeah, I mean, they gotta. I don't even know. I guess is it still in Arizona? I'm assuming so. Yeah, in Arizona, at Arizona State. This says the 10th. Oh, they must have changed it to the 10th. So they release tomorrow, not today. So, whoops. There we go. So it looks like they released. They do it today. All right, so it looks like they are inviting champions and games invites. I'm assuming so athletes that were at the CrossFit Games or at the Masters CrossFit Games. Well, what if all 40 want to go and then there's no one? Wouldn't that be some shit? That'd be interesting. No, so all right, here we go. We'll work our way down. John has time for WODprep wars, but never kill Taylor. Stop punching down John. Well, kill Taylor's like very specific, right? 9 a.m. on a Saturday. Pretty sure could John coaches at that time frame. Again, this isn't happening. Poor Tyreek. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, no one likes to be, to see that for whatever, but I don't know. Miami cops. It's interesting. I've lived in Miami, and interestingly enough, like Miami cops do not pull you over for traffic violations, like ever. Like unless you're a bike speeding on I-95 or the turnpike, they're not chasing you. You run red lights, traffic. Like there's just no traffic violations in Miami. Like they don't care. They're out taking drug bust every day, right? So it's so interesting to see. But a cop pulling, but it was motorcycle cops, which their sole job is to do traffic violations. And I mean, like right there where they were, there's not a lot of like he just gotten off the highway. He was about to turn in. And so there's not even a lot of place to speed or anything like that. So I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't call it poor Tyreek, but um, I know. Yeah, yeah. And this is it, right? I mean, I love Tyreek as an athlete, but I mean, he hasn't had the best. I don't know. I mean, he seems to be good in the like the social aspects and the community overall, but I mean, he is what it is, right? I don't it yeah. My guess is black. The problem is there just isn't a lot of room for it to speed like in that area, right? Like it's like he was literally turning in 200 feet. So, um, Deca, yeah, Aaron. So what is Deca, guys? So Deca is kind of like a smaller version of High Rocks, um, a little bit shorter, but almost an identical concept, just a different brand. That's good. Aaron, how'd you do? Was it your first one? Um, yeah, it is what it is. Who cares? He caught an 80-yard touchdown. I don't give a shit. It's all right. Dolphins won because of him, and they're going to keep winning because of him. If they let him go, it's not that bad. What's up, Slater? Good morning. Good morning. What were we just talking about before my Tyreek rant? Go Dolphins. We play the Bills on Thursday night. It's going to be sick. I'm super excited, but we got to do better. I had too many missed throws. You just got off work. It's 7:30 in the morning. What do you do? How do you get off work at 7:20? Your graveyard shift. What do you do, Slater? Um, uh, but it was interesting. Tua overthrew some people, which never happens. Even downfield. Oh, what's up? We're at in Texas. Any new update on the games? Like the CrossFit games? You mean like Dave and all of that shit? We're not gonna talk about that today. Kyle, if that's what you're asking about. No, Tua's not washed up. Get the fuck out of here. They just signed him. No, he's not washed up. You can get fucked on that. He lost like 15 pounds this year. He looks not like a chubbalub. My ex-brother-in-law used to work in Richardson, so live in Richardson, and he worked at Richardson Firefighter or Richardson Fire. So, yeah, correct, Kenneth. Unless there's breaking news, we're not going to keep hammering what was once to be and now what it is to move forward. I don't know, whatever. Yep. I used to go, if you're in Irving, I used to go to, when we would go and stay in Richardson, I go to CrossFit Richardson, the most interesting gym I've ever been a part of. Okay, so guys, check this out. So this gym has like 300 to 400 members. Okay. And they have like a 30 to 40 person 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. every single day. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Owner's such a good dude, played ball at Alabama and baseball. Great guy. This is how every class goes. He writes the workout on the board, puts everyone's names down, right? Old school style. It's been a couple years since I've been there, so this is just what I remember. And he'd let me come in. He'd lock me in there if I needed to. Um, and so this is how it would go. He'd run everyone through a dynamic warm up. All right, so like high knees, butt kickers, like the normal monster walks, whatever. Frankenstein said, whatever you want, like your normal, like traditional, like sports warm up. And then he'd go over the workout on the board, and then everyone would go. And 6 minutes later, he would just be like, all right, go get ready for the workout. And they would go warm up on their own. They would listen, so how do you coach that class? This is how they coached it, right? He would write the workout. He'd go over it. He'd help a couple people with scaling that needed to be and talk about some scaling at the board. And then he'd give everyone 5 to 10 minutes to go to go warm up on their own, get ready for the class, and then basically would just be like, all right, who's ready? 3, 2, 1, go. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. They didn't do any structured like movement warm up or movement demo or anything like that. Like the other athletes would help other athletes. It was it was just a full free for all the time. Right? They would do that dynamic warm up and then everyone else would finish warming up for the movement specifics and then that would be it and they would just do the workout and I was like, this is the craziest thing. And people, they were so happy. And I was like, this is the most crazy thing I've ever seen. And there was always like 35 kids there, right? They had this like little room and then they would just, it was nuts. I've never seen any gym like be so unstructured yet so smooth in the way they ran, right? Like there was no long warm up. There was, like they would just do the dynamic and then that was it. And then everyone else would do everything on their own. And then he would just walk around. Crazy, insane. But they just, I mean, dude, they would have 30, 40 per person classes at 5 and 6 a.m. every single day. Their biggest class was 5 and 6 a.m. I've been to a part of a lot of gyms that I've never seen that before. This is insane, guys. Tier just keeps upping the ante on their shoe. And all of you fuckers are going to buy it. Everyone in here, all of you are going to spend that much money on a plate trainer, on a trainer shoe. That's crazy. That's so wild. Do you guys remember when the Nano released the like carbon fiber one, the richest one, the 5, I think, right? The Froning, and it was like had that like kind of like mesh carbon fiber over it. It was like $200 then, and then no one bought it, and I think it kind of shit the bed, and they kind of went back to a normal shoe. Yeah, this is true. The only problem with Chucks is they're just like they're so flat and hard, like they don't even bend that well with your foot. I saw it. I mean, I've just seen it, and I didn't watch the unbox. Let's see. That's right. Camille knows. Innovates all the way. I've worn every shoe on the market, and I always come back to Tier. But this is different, though. Training barefoot is different than training in a hard bottom shoe. Just to be clear, I also think training barefoot is wildly risky for not a lot of benefit. All right. What do you think?
Whitney happened to be coming today to film this before I put it together. So we're going to put it together and then we're going to test it and see what we think. I'm super freaking stoked.
Gus, I feel like you just live on CrossFit YouTube. I have 2 pairs of strike movements, but they're just heavy. Like they're kind of like a skater shoe. Like they're just kind of big. My favorite shoe ever was a Nano 5, like a very, very minimal, thin shoe, like had a thin tongue and everything. And so that was my favorite shoe ever, but obviously they don't make them anymore. I feel like all the things like the Savage ones are just like through the YouTube world, right? And Taylor and Savan. The Tier lifter with the wood coming out. Yeah, definitely old school Addy Stars. I had Addy Powers when I used lifters 2s. I'll probably go back to Innovates. I'm in Innovate now, and I'll probably stay with like, I think 215s. That's what I have. I have the Haze, and I don't know. I mean, I like them. No, I don't. I don't have the Haze. Um, um, what do I have? I don't know. Pills? Chill pill? That's probably why. Um, so anyways,
And I've played that game and I never the manual and try to follow the instructions because I'm just you guys are gonna okay thing.
what do you think?
So now I'm that guy. But I do appreciate people.
Yeah, this is interesting, right? They have the what do they call it? Like they have like a name, like the Adidas. Bethany. Uh, Bethany is an Adidas athlete, but they have like a name for that line of clothing. I can't remember what it's called. I feel like it's called something. Oh, Three Stripes or something like that. Like like it's called like the Three Stripes. Adidas Three Stripes. Yeah, they're just calling it like the Three Stripes. And I think that's supposed to be the fitness brand, maybe something like that. I don't know. Then I look at it; it doesn't look very fitnessy to me. I guess it does, right? Like this. I don't know. Anyways, we're gonna go back to here. We'll watch this. 3 lines. I think it's 3 stripes. Gus. Yeah. The Metcon was always just really heavy. Innovate's never looked cool enough. What? Hold on. What are we talking about? Innovate shoes. What do you mean? They look exact. Man, that's so funny. The first thing that pops up when you type in Innovate shoe is the tier trainer. That's when you know your marketing needs to fucking get better. Yeah, their running shoes are not my favorite. Like the big ones. I do like their trainers, but men's, they do make a lot of cross training shoes. This is my shoe, 235s. That's my go-to. I have 260s. But ooh, half off. Where do we see? Let's see. Outlet. Is that on this? Nope. Oh yeah, look at that. Man, they look like same price to me. Yeah, some of their bigger shoes look I agree. 235s. My favorites were their 190s, 195s, but they don't make them that thin anymore. Probably a Bear fit. Yeah, I guess the F lights are. I have a pair. Bear FX. I have a pair of these, and I have this pair, and they're okay. I've only worn them like once or twice. Cardio shoes. You can just search. Oh, men's cardio shoe. Let's see. Let's see what pops up. Anything? Yeah, the F Light 245s. I think that's what I have. I think I might have 215s, but I love 195s. I rope climb in the 195s and they were fine for me. I always heard everyone say they got shredded, but I don't know. Maybe you all just suck at rope climbing. What the fuck is a treadmill running shoe? You just shouldn't run on treadmills, by the way. No one should. It's stupid. Run outside. Their weightlifting shoe was terrible. I do just love their 235s. This is my jam. Anyways. Yeah, I had like they were like gray. They were red and gray, my 195s. Yeah, so a true form is not a treadmill, right? A motorless treadmill and a powered treadmill are two completely different things. Let's go back to the unboxing, huh? All right.
Without it, you know.
He looks confused.
Probably put the tires on first, huh? I like it. I like it. We got it. Okay.
Didn't he say he wasn't going to do? This does look a little
right here.
confusing.
I really think it's just that, huh? All right.
That's a good idea. You should definitely get that. I'd love a
Really
runner.
tough. Oh,
That's the only piece of equipment that I
As I
don't
say
have that I really want.
it's got to be it, right? There we go. Step 2, wheels. So this is one where you can easily mix it up, right? 'Cause there's a right and a left here, but
All right.
there are ways.
I don't care.
Pull the tire. Just locked it in place. Didn't even need that step. Step 9, didn't even need it. That's how good we are. That's it if you want to fold it up. This little guy right here, it's all it is. What is that for?
Oops, that's really small.
Maybe your phone? I
Can
bet
make
it
it
is.
bigger?
Yeah, because well, there's actually the
There we go.
the back or something.
He looks very confused. Didn't he say he wasn't going to use the... I don't ever suggest anyone not use your instructions.
These will be interesting.
Yeah, there's like this like
Let's
quick...
see how these feel.
This like quick lock thing
Turn
on
this
the
bad
foot.
boy around. We're obviously a little downhill here in the garage.
You make so much money in CrossFit.
Oh, right next to the Echo bike. You
And
know,
you can't level
where
your
we need
damn
to be.
garage, bro.
quick release. What does that mean?
He does look
I
confused.
understand it's like a quick release.
I agree.
It seems the same. Maybe I'm an idiot. I like that. Select some just row.
Not saying that I know more about CrossFit than Josh, just to be clear, but there is no rower on the planet that says the straps should be all the way up here. They should be over your toe. His foot plate should be way, way lower. Come on, Josh.
Select some just row. Let's go. See. That's not the right damper. There we go.
I bet they just sent him a video. I bet they didn't pay him for this. I mean, he's a rogue athlete still, I think. And so you can hear, right? So if you guys are listening, so when you think of something like this, right? So it's all about rogues. Here, let me finish watching this. So you can look at stroke rate and you can hear the sound of the fan. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, so I think he's, so you can hear the sound of the fan, right? And you can assume that it's probably pretty close just by the sound of it, by how fast the stroke rate is, right? Let's see what he says.
Whew. Yeah. Feels very similar. Stroke rate, pace seem to be about right. Strokes per minute to meters. I think I have my damper setting a touch low there. Screens, obviously very similar. But
What's up, Holly?
yeah, I love
Good
this thing.
morning.
It's like I said, it's like a tank. Put it on the right side. So, oh, that's the quick release. Ah, well, Okay, so you get your feet in,
Still, foot plates are way too fucking high. Come on,
boom,
Josh.
get them
Jesus
tight.
Christ.
Then you just go like that. Oh, boom.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
oh, love it.
all right. Anyways, I think the quick release is dumb. You shouldn't be fucking with your straps when you get in and out of a rower ever, right? Unless you're getting in for a long, um, unless you're getting in for a long row, the strap should be able to be in and out without you messing with the straps. And I will, I'll take that to the grave. No one should be pulling straps tight in high transition workouts, even with the quick release. Doesn't matter. The front wheels do look goofy. I agree. See, thanks, CrossFat. Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. I don't think it's a fail. There are some people. So interestingly enough, Froning, Rich still tightens his straps every time. Sam Briggs always tightened her straps. Josh always tightened his straps. And you can just go back to old open workouts to see. But I mean, some of the best athletes ever still did. I don't know if Matt did. I mean, you can probably look and find out, but I know Rich always did. And so I would bet that that's where that came from, because there are still some high level athletes that will still tighten straps. Oh, whoops. There you go. Probably. But I mean, you know, how many things does Rogue make that break, right? So I don't know. I feel like it's probably okay. But yeah, agreed.
Oh, damn. I had no, that's really cool. I love that. That is so much easier.
All right, so here are the things that have to happen for this to take off. Okay. Number one, it has to be durable, which it is. Okay. And it has to have the name Rogue. Okay. So those are the two big points, and it has those. But how does this replace Concept 2? The only way it replaces Concept 2 is if CrossFit can prove that it's the exact same and the competitive advantage is none. And so that they are interchangeable with Concept 2, right? So the only way this permeates gyms is if somehow CrossFit says you can use a Concept 2 rower or a Rogue Echo rower in the open. I don't think they would ever mandate it. They'll never mandate it over Concept 2, not for years, like 10, 15 years. But if you can use either one interchangeably, if basically there's enough testing done on it that says that they are an interchangeable, then it can't, then that's the only way it permeates gyms. If they can't do that, then it won't get into the CrossFit gym. There's no way, right? I also don't know how much it's going to, so, so yeah, that's the only way. It can't replace it. It can be used in unison with it, and they'll never require it. That would be insane. Oh wow, this is really cheap. I mean, it's literally $300 cheaper than, man, I bet they're losing so much money on it for the next. They'll never do this, right? This is the problem, right? Those suck. Those are terrible. They messed up. They missed the mark. Definitely will permeate the home gym. For sure. All right, so Kyle, for me, I can relax my feet more when the straps are tight. So if you are getting that much shin burn, right, then your finish point, then it's probably more of a rowing technique issue. So the strap should be at least somewhat tight that your feet can slide, that it helps reduce that. Like there shouldn't be that much movement, but it should be loose enough to where you can slide your feet in and out. If you're relying on the straps to not fall backwards, then you're probably leaning too far back and leaning too far early in your stroke, right? So you're probably opening your hips early and sliding back like this instead of a what would be more of like a deadlift, right? So like the hip shouldn't open until the knees are past 90 degrees, and then the hip opens and then the arms pull. What happens a lot is that we open the hips early and then push away instead of a hinge pattern. And so that's going to blow up your shins more. Um, um, uh, Camille, I think um, better is an interesting term. I mean, the Echo bike is substantially more durable, right? The Air bike was just more cheaply made. It was chain based, which makes a huge difference. It wasn't belt driven. You have to fix it a lot. The monitor doesn't perform as well, and so overall, the Echo bike is a better bike. Um, Now there are some limits. The Echo bike is substantially heavier from like a feel per pedal. Um, um, and so for the smaller athlete, they're hurting more on the Echo bike compared to the assault bike. The assault bike also does allow you to sprint a little bit better, right? So if you're really trying to train power output, um, uh, if you're trying to train power output on the assault bike is a little bit better just because you can spin it faster, right? Because there's less resistance. So I think it's back and forth. I think the sport has shifted to the Echo bike, so that's the bike that we generally should use. But I mean, I use them interchangeably in all training, right? So if like I'm writing calories, I don't like to change the calories. I don't think that's fair because like even when assault bike was being used over the Echo bike, they were still writing workouts the same based on calories. I know some people will say it's less calories for an Echo bike versus an assault. I just don't think that makes any sense because the calories haven't changed in program and competitions. They just changed the bike, right? So even though it might feel a little harder, which it doesn't, it spins, calories tick over a little faster on the Echo bike versus the assault bike. So like it's 62 RPMs. The Echo bike is turning over a little bit more calories per minute than the assault bike. So I think it balances out personally. Um, this is funny. 100%. That's a funny statement. Um, uh, I agree. Very good call. Free is nice. Um, Echo Foot. It is. It's so big. And so that was also the other thing with the rower was that it's supposed to fold up better, but I don't really see how that um um I don't really see how it's going to lower the footprint. The only way is that it folds up fully and that it can fit under like if you're looking at like a storage rack, it would fit under like the second shelf. That would be the only way. But overall, it's got to be the same footprint, if even if not a bigger footprint. Um, this is interesting. No, I haven't, but I have fixed a fuckload of assault bikes, and they're always really good about sending you whatever you need. Um, and they are not that hard to fix. You just have to fix them pretty often. Um, do I ever think, ow, ow, ouch. Um, do I ever think the only machine, I think there are two machines, right? Stairmaster, for whatever reason. The only problem with the Stairmaster is it's not, um, uh, it, it's, you're not moving it, right? So, um, and so I think there's a challenge point there, right? Like it's set on a speed. So if there was like a motorless Stairmaster, like a Woodway Stairmaster or like an Air Runner version type Stairmaster, I could see that. And then the piece of equipment that I want to see the most is um um is a VersaClimber. I want them to do some distance on a VersaClimber. It's the hardest piece of machine equipment on the planet. Hands down, not even close. It is absolute like torture. So hard. Yeah. So they've never had a C2 for Indy at the games. I guess they still haven't. They didn't have it this year. No. I mean, they will, right? Eventually. But I wouldn't say that that's like, that doesn't, and they will never have a torque tank. They had torque tanks at Syndicate Crown, and it's a disaster. The problem with the torque tank is no matter how hard you push, it only goes one speed, right? So yes, you can go slow to fast, but only fast to a point, and then it just pushes back on you because it's that magnetic driven. And so it'll only go so fast. So you can't actually make up ground if you're a better sled pusher or stronger or bigger athlete or whatever, or better on that modality. And so there's an inherent flaw in the design from a competition standpoint. From a training standpoint, it's great, right? I think it's fine. But from a competition standpoint, it's not a competition apparatus. And that's because of just the way that it's designed. So it shouldn't be used in competition. And I'm glad they haven't. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it has a max speed. Now, when you load it up, it'll be a little harder to reach that max speed. But it's still a big wheel on a flat surface, so there's not really any friction that's like being increased, right? It's like pushing a car in neutral, right? Like once it's going, and there's not really a lot of like potential energy being limited there, right? So it's moving, right? So it'll make it a little bit more challenging, but not a lot, right? Like not like a sled or anything like that, because there's no friction because it's on big wheels. So tells you not to load more than grip needs. Oh, yeah. All right, you want
And
to finish this?
having to mess with this guy. What a genius idea.
Maybe. It
That's
seems really
awesome.
loose, right? So like this, like you guys said, so this
I
this
knew they're
clip,
saying quick.
it's gonna be like tension and tension bias to lock. So it could easily. Duke, hey, just having nightmares.
Quickly. I'm like, I just wasn't understanding it. Boom, there it is. Found it. Money. And in my head, I was like, oh, in my head, I thought I put them on the wrong side because of where these were at. But now, just to get a real.
Yeah, like I said, if Rogue has mimicked the algorithm and the resistance, and basically if they took all the aspects of the C2 rower and just encased it in the Rogue Echo rower, and they can convince CrossFit that that's what they did, and you can use a Rogue Echo rower or a Concept 2 rower in the open or in online competitions, then the Rogue Echo rower will slowly phase out the C2 rower 100%. Not even a question. But if they can't do that, then it'll take 10, 15, 20 years for it to do that, right? Like it'll take so long for it to be the mainstay rower and for the CrossFit to be able to justify saying you have to use a Rogue Echo rower, right? But if you can use both, then it'll work for sure. And then Concept 2 will still probably end up going, not out of business, obviously, but like start leaving the CF space from a rower perspective. I don't know what you mean. So there's so many cheap used C2 that they will need to eke out. You mean from a cost perspective, right? So at $900 though, I mean, even cheap C2 rowers, right? You might get $600 or $700, but they're not that much. They're not much cheaper than that. I did a lot of like buy and resell during COVID. And so still $600-700 is like what C2 rowers will go for. People will spend $895 is just such a different purchasing feel than $1195 or $1250 or whatever it is at this point. So I agree. People will still go cheaper, but I'm just looking at like, are they going to permeate the CrossFit gym space? Uh, and so, yeah, I agree. I agree. Is this, I haven't been on the marketplace in a long time. Is this what rowers are at now? I just remember even on the backside of COVID, they were still $600, $700, $800. C2, they are durable, right? And so, but so is Rogue equipment, right? And they stand behind their products. They're very easy to work with. They send you all the shit that you need for free most of the time. So I agree. That's crazy. C2 for $50. That's insane. Yeah, you gotta really live on the marketplace. Man, I'm trying to sell. I got anyone a size 11. I got these brand new Go Ruck trainers. Okay, one of my athletes, they didn't have her size, and so they gave me a pair, and it's an 11. But I'm a 10 and a half, and it's fucking huge. So I would say if you're an 11 and a half, and want these, I'll sell them to you super cheap. They're brand new. I'm trying to sell them on marketplace. They're not going anywhere. But I just want them out of my house. Does anyone want 11 and a half Go Ruck runners? I don't know what they're called. Rough runners. Uh-oh. All right, Gus. If you want them, let me know. Hit me up. All right. All right. So little man's starting to wake up. It's almost 8. Anything you guys want to chat about before we dip? Thanks for being here this morning. I feel like this is going better, right? Like it's a little more fluid, you know? All right. I'll take a bid between Slater and Gus. I mean, they're big for my foot. I mean, they're cushiony, right? It's like a trail, probably more like I don't wear runners. I like flat shoes when I run, so I can't really speak to it. It was free shoe. I always take free shoes if someone's going to give them to me. They were just way too big. So they told me to size up because they didn't have 10 and a halves. They said size up. And I was like, or no, they just told me to size up. And I was like, okay, well, great. And so I did, and I didn't need to, right? So they're 10 and a halves, but I would say if you're an 11 or 11 and a half would be what it's going to fit. Because I'm a 10 and a half in every shoe, and it's way too big, like a full size too big. Yeah, anyways. CrossFit, you can message me on Instagram. I'll keep your stuff private. You can do a PO box, something like that. Hit me up on Instagram. We'll make it. Oh yeah, the thumb. Two thumbs on a show is probably people's opinion on the bald Colton. I had to look at the legs during the show to tell us who's who. I guess between him and Taylor, yeah, they did kind of look alike. Two thumbs. Perfect. Colton could ski in them. Like actually ski on the water. Sick. Anything else? Any other last minute questions? We didn't have any rehab questions today. What? That's no way. That's a funny comment. That's pretty good. God, that's so unfortunate for him. That makes him probably even more challenged to run swiftly. Sheesh. Cool. All right. It's 8. I hope you guys enjoy the day. Thanks for being here. Let me pull up our schedule this week so far. We'll finish lives. Couple things. If you guys are looking for the best CrossFit how-to YouTube on the internet, WODprep is your place. Muscle ups, handstand walks, bar muscle ups, double unders, snatching, clean and jerks, all of it. That's what we do, and that's what we're good at. All right. So, all of our videos, okay? Open announcements, open strategy, all the shit. Quarterfinal strategy, everything. Wednesday, Maddie's coming on 1 o'clock. Next Friday, or this Friday, we have coffee and conversations. Friday, we have the journey through the journal. I posted it already once. I'll post it again. I'll put it in the notes. I posted it once. Here you go. Here, I'll put it in the did I put it in the thing here? Yeah. There's the link. The link is there. Cool. And we'll be just put it in another screen. What do you mean? Have you ever? Anyways, you can figure that out. All right. And then John and Travis will go live with them. CrossFit update show, probably Thursday, late day. Trying to fit where it fits in the week. We were doing Mondays. Monday's like a hard day. Like nothing happens in CrossFit over the weekends. You guys are bidding on my unworn shoe. That's what the bidding war is on. So it's $6. So $6, and then there'll be $100 to ship, by the way. No, they're not used. They're unused. I just put them on and they're unused. Look, here you go. Ready? Here. Look at that. Unused. All right. Cool. All right. Well, we'll see you guys. When's our next one? I guess Wednesday. We might come on tomorrow for the update show. And yeah, hit your notify. Click notify me. Notify me. Notify me. All right. Boom. And if you guys are really feeling it, maybe join the membership. Cool. All right. Have a good day. I'll see you guys at least on Wednesday, if not earlier. Adios.